I'm not gonna lie, I totally stole this idea from Shoot 'Em Up 89, but this is Navy version.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, oh my God.
What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And as always, we have a live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. California time, where I answer your questions live. And as always, you can donate as little as $1 down at the Patreon link down below and get a little bit extra. We appreciate it. If you guys don't know, Shoot 'Em Up 89 is an upcoming military YouTuber that shot up pretty quick over the past month, and I've been watching a little bit of what he does, and I'd like to say he is probably like the Army equivalent of like the same format type stuff that I do, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I saw his most viewed video was how to impress a drill sergeant when you're in the Army. But I wanted to spin this off, and I wanted to say, how can you impress your RDC or the Recruit Division Commander in boot camp when you're there? This is because the expectations of Army drill sergeants, Recruit Division Commanders, and Marine drill instructors, and all these different types of authoritative figures are going to be different, which can make your experience that little bit easier while you're in boot camp. If you guys are longtime viewers, you've probably heard this, or you've been out my live stream where I always say you guys need to be able to wake up early in the morning. I say this because the fact that the RDCs are going to show up, and realistically they shouldn't even have to flick on the lights for you guys. Like, it should be like lights out, but the second they walk in, the recruits already turning on the lights. Everybody should already be out of the rack. Like, you guys should be already getting dressed, or if not already dressed. Like, when my RDC was in the compartment for the Navy side of boot camp, it was literally like I'd already shaved, I already put on my uniform. I literally sometimes was waiting just for this person to show up so we could finally start the day and go to breakfast and stuff like that. So definitely make sure you guys are up early. A lot of you guys are going to say, what if that person doesn't want to wake up? Well, then you guys are going to get dropped and punished as like an entire division. So it's better that that person hates you for waking them up rather than waking up, working out, being sweaty, changing, going to breakfast sweaty, and that was like the start of your day. Imagine waking up and immediately like out the gate starting to do jumping jacks and mountain climbers and everything else and being in full sweat mode. It sucks. Now the next seems kind of basic, but I feel like it's something not many people actually apply, and this is be eager to actually learn the material, and B, take notes. Because I'll tell you an experience that we had somebody that did not take notes on how to properly like fold something. Petty officer, I forgot how to do it. Thick Filipino accent, and he's like, what do you mean you forgot how to do it? I taught you yesterday. You didn't write it down? No, petty officer, I didn't. Needless to say, she sat in the middle of the compartment while we all said 1, 2, 3, thank you. Insert her name. I don't want to call her out. It's been like 9 years now. So not only want to learn this stuff, but be eager to teach other people, because what they're trying to do is teach you guys. They don't need to be the one to teach you literally everything. You can learn from each other pretty fast that way. So just, if you are the first person to know something, make sure you are doing something to put the information to everybody, because it makes the RDC's job way easier, your guys' lives easier, because the more you guys mess up, the more they're going to want to put you down on the deck and make sure you guys are doing some mountain climbers or something. So this one is pretty essential, I would say, as making your RDC's job a little easier, is correcting people. You're going to be seen as that guy that is not the nice guy by correcting people, but if you correct people, you're doing the job so the RDC doesn't have to do it. So if you guys are like, hey, you're messed up, hey, your uniform sucks, whatever, like, you are going to have to be able to tell people that. Mind you, this is not just boot camp. Like, this is real Navy stuff. Like, you see somebody not in regulations, you should probably be like, hey man, like, I know I'm only E3, I'm just letting you know that, like, this isn't right, you're not wearing it right or whatever. And I assure you, most people would rather hear this from like an E3 rather than an E7 or some kind of officer situation. So if you can handle it there, definitely do that and correct people. I actually remember I was commended by my RDC for correcting somebody because we had our dog tags and they were out of this guy's shirt. And I was like, hey, shipmate, you know, you got to put it in your shirt, make sure it's in there. And he was like, gave me the nasty look, and then he like backed me up because he saw me do it. And he's like, no, that's what all you guys need to be doing. I shouldn't have to do that. You guys should police each other. So be comfortable correcting people. It's not always the most comfortable, but if you know your tone, you know how you come at people, realize delivery is everything. So if I came up to you and was like, what the hell is that going on with you right now? Like, why are you all messed up? Or, hey man, I see your ribbons are backwards. I just want to let you know. I didn't know if you noticed. You see, delivery was like the total difference between am I being an to this person or am I being a nice guy to this person, and it still gets the same result done, and I didn't take any effort besides actually being nice, and I used less energy, and that person was probably more friendly and would appreciate my advice or my help later in the future. This is almost like a continuation of some of the other stuff I've said, but anytime you guys have a problem with anybody, anything, you need to solve it down here. A lot of people want to go straight to the recruit division commander. That is probably the last thing you want to do, because then you are asking for some kind of intervention of being PT'd or IT'd, intensive training, whichever. So pretty much if you can handle it down here at the lowest level, that is ideal, because once you bring the RDC in, they're going to make sure it is corrected very quick because they don't have time for that. I will give you one specific example, and that was, I remember I shaved really early that morning and I left my razor on the sink, and the master at arms, the person that's supposed to correct people, was like, oh, is this your razor? Because I was looking for it, and the RDC had not even inspected yet. It was like I left it there literally like minutes before. I was like, oh yeah, man, I forgot it. Can I get it? And he's like, no, I'm going to go tell the RDC that you left this in here, that you were not responsible for taking care of your stuff. And I was like, hey man, like I just left this here. Like, you don't have to go to the RDC to tell on me and be a tattletale. And so I follow him because I'm just pissed off and he's going to go tell the RDC. What eventually happened kind of shocked me, and he was like, are you serious? Are you coming to me about a razor that he was coming to pick up that you could have just given back to him and it not have been a big deal? But you decided to waste my time and do that. So immediately the RDC was mad from that, and it actually IT'd, intensively trained PT'd, that guy instead of me, even though he was trying to do his job, but he actually wasn't being very effective at it and handling it down here. So what ended up happening was he got beat for that. So it's just kind of funny how that flipped the script, and then I got my razor back. Now the last one is kind of funny because I know you guys are so focused on working out and PT, but I will tell you this, going to boot camp PT like ready for the fitness test and being already very physically fit will actually be way better. And I'm going to tell you why, because I found this very funny and ironic, was if you were more fit arriving, the RDCs did not drop you as much. Because they kind of know and gauge who really needs to work out, who doesn't, who is overweight. And so they try and give some emphasis on that. I didn't really think about that until afterwards. And if anyone's been to boot camp and you are bigger, you kind of notice you definitely did work out a little bit more, but you lost the weight. And I want to say all the people that were like workout studs or whatever that played football or whatnot, like the RDCs, it got to the point where sometimes they're like, you guys just enjoy working out. Like, it wasn't even a punishment anymore for some of the guys that were there. So if you were like one of the top performers, like working out and stuff like that, they didn't really mess with you as much, which was kind of funny because they were like, we can't put you down, we can't beat you, like, you enjoy working out. So it just got to the point where the people that embraced it and enjoyed it a lot and were already PT studs kind of did much better in boot camp because they didn't need as much work and the RDC was impressed with them. This is why I continue to say you guys need to be at the standard before you even show up to boot camp. I could run the fitness test before I even came to boot camp. So I stress that because honestly, this is not just boot camp. Like, this is only small 8 weeks. You still have another 4, 5, or 6 years to go of running fitness tests and being in shape. So this is honestly a marathon, not a sprint, not just boot camp. Because a lot of people end up leaving boot camp and then they're like, oh yay, I passed boot camp, and then they fail their first PRT, and then you're like, how did you fail that? You literally just came from like one of the most strict training environments that you needed to pass this, and now you're here and there's just no discipline. So maintain discipline before boot camp, during boot camp, and after boot camp. Promise you guys, your RDCs will be impressed if you're able to PT. So as always, guys, if you guys have questions, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And as always, we have a live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. California time, where I answer your questions live. And if you want to donate as little as $1, you can donate to the Patreon link down below. We appreciate it. And as always, guys, I love you. I'll see you next time.
From the side, I'm like, oh God, oh my God. Everything I do, you know I do it for the squad. I'm like, oh God, oh my God.